Today, we're cracking open one of the most powerful poems ever written, Psalm 24. It's short, yeah, only 10 verses, but wow, is it packed. It's got cosmic vision, some serious literary genius, and a challenge that rings just as true today as it did 3,000 years ago.
So the psalm kicks off with this just epic declaration. This isn't just pretty poetry, It's a bold, radical claim of universal ownership. It sets the entire stage, establishing the absolute authority of the Creator over every atom and every single soul. This one line is the bedrock for everything that follows.
Okay, so to really get what's going on in this masterpiece, we're going to look at it like an architectural blueprint. Because just like a grand cathedral, Psalm 24 is built with this incredibly elegant and intentional three-part structure, and it's designed to take the worshiper on a very specific journey.
And that journey unfolds in three distinct acts. First, it starts huge, right? Cosmic, God owns everything. Then, boom, it zooms right into the personal, asking, okay, so who is actually worthy to get close to this God? And it all wraps up with this dramatic, show-stopping finale, a triumphant entry into the holy city.
And get this wasn't just some poem written in a vacuum. Most scholars think it was composed for a very real, very big event. Imagine the scene. King David leading this huge procession, bringing the Ark of the Covenant, the very symbol of God's presence, into his brand new capital, Jerusalem. This psalm, it was basically the soundtrack for that epic day.
All right, let's dig into that first section, because those opening lines about creation, they aren't just a sweet little hymn. No, they are a direct, powerful challenge to the worldview of pretty much every other nation in the ancient world.
See, in the myths of Israel's neighbors, like the Canaanite story of Baal, creation is this violent struggle. Their gods have to fight and defeat chaotic sea monsters just to earn their kingship. But Psalm 24 completely flips the script. It says the God of Israel doesn't fight chaos, he uses it as building material. The seas and rivers aren't his rivals, they're the foundation stones for his world. His power isn't won in a fight, it's just who he is.
So after establishing this absolute cosmic authority, the poem takes this sharp, dramatic turn. It goes from the universal right down to the deeply personal. It's as if the whole procession gets to the city and a gatekeeper steps out and poses this riddle to everyone.
And this is the central question of the entire psalm. It's basically an entrance exam. The question is, okay, given that this God is the creator and owner of everything, who on earth is actually qualified to enter his sacred space and stand in his presence? It's a question that would have stopped everyone right in their tracks.
And the answer that comes back is this four-part standard for, total integrity. And notice, it's not just about going through some religious rituals. No, it covers every single part of your life. What you do with your hands, what's going on inside your heart, who or what you give your ultimate loyalty to, and the truthfulness of your words. It's the whole shebang.
Okay, but here's where it gets really cool. Let's dive deep into that answer, because it's so much more than just a moral checklist. It is an absolute marvel of literary engineering. It's like a hidden code, and once you see it, the genius of this poem just shines.
So the answer to that gatekeeper's question seems pretty straightforward on the surface, right? But buried in the original Hebrew, there are at least 3 different literary devices all layered together, creating this incredible depth of meaning. We're about to decode this together.
The first tool the poet uses is something called a merism. It's a really simple but brilliant idea. By naming 2 opposites, you're actually talking about everything in between. Like if you say you searched high and low, you mean you searched absolutely everywhere. Now watch how the verse does this. It pairs 2 positive things, clean hands and a pure heart, with 2 negative things, not lifting your soul to an idol and not swearing deceitfully. By combining what you are with what you are not, it creates a merism for a person of, you guessed it, total purity. It covers all the bases. But wait, it gets even better. There are 2 more merisms nested right inside that first one. Look closer. The poet pairs clean hands, that's your outward actions, with a pure heart, your inward intentions. That's a merism for the whole person, inside and out. Then he does it again, pairing deceitful speech, which is outward, with idol worship, which is a matter of your inward soul. It's another merism for total integrity. The poet is basically using the very structure of the words to shout completeness.
But believe it or not, there's one final super elegant layer of artistry here. something called a chiasm. This is a literary structure where ideas are presented and then repeated in reverse order. Think of it like a mirror image, A, B, B, A. It creates this perfect sense of balance and wholeness.
And you can see exactly how it works here. The line starts with clean hands. That's outward. Let's call it A. Then it moves to the inward stuff, the heart and soul. We'll call those B's. And it finishes with honest speech, another outward action, bringing us back to A. This ABBA pattern creates this perfect literary frame, just hammering home the point that the purity required has to be total, inside and out.
Okay, so now for the final act. This is where everything we've talked about builds to an absolutely incredible climax. The creator's power is clear, the moral standard has been set, and now the procession is standing right at the city gates.
So the poet uses this cool technique called personification. The leader of the procession shouts at the gates of Jerusalem themselves, "Lift up your heads, O you gates." It's a command for the city to wake up and acknowledge its incoming king. And then a voice from inside, maybe the city's guards, calls back, building all this tension, "Who is this King of Glory?" The first answer identifies the king as the divine warrior. This is the Lord, strong and mighty, the God who is victorious in battle, the one who has protected his people and brought them right to this moment. He is the one who triumphs over all enemies.
But it's not over yet. The call and the question happen again, almost word for word, and this repetition is pure drama. It's creating an echo, building anticipation for one final, ultimate reveal of who this king truly is.
And here it is, the final answer, the Lord of Hosts. Now this is an even bigger, grander title. It doesn't just mean a warrior who wins battles on Earth. It means the commander of the cosmic armies. We're talking the stars, the angels, every single force in the entire universe. This is the king of all creation. The procession can now enter.
So, this incredible piece of literary architecture isn't just some historical artifact collecting dust. For thousands of years, it has been a living, breathing text, constantly being rediscovered and reapplied in some really powerful ways.
In Jewish tradition, it's a key part of Rosh Hashanah, with different verses highlighting themes of creation, God's law, and the hope for a future redemption. In Christianity, those final verses are often read to celebrate the ascension of Christ, understood as the King of Glory entering the true heavenly sanctuary. It's amazing how versatile it is.
So where does that leave us? What's the big takeaway? Psalm 24 starts with a God who owns the cosmos and ends at a gate that demands an answer from you, from me. It confronts us with this timeless question about what it truly takes to approach the sacred. It demands a life of complete integrity, clean hands, a pure heart, loyal worship, and honest speech. The challenge of this ancient blueprint is still right here in front of us. If those gates were asking you that question today, what would your answer be?